The military says there is no need for panic as a planned operation. Positive identification is not to scare Nigerians, but is an operation over the Northeast situation as right activist Femi Falana goes to court to stop action. And the main opposition, PDP, has raised an alarm over plans to arrest some of its top members ahead of the Kogi and Bayelsa governorship elections. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Okimale at Channels Television's global headquarters in Lagos. Let's begin with the fears of the main opposition party, the PDP, over what he is alleged as plans that he says it has uncovered as plots by the electoral umpire to delete his candidate in the Kogi governorship election race. The PDP in a statement today says that its warning is predicated on intelligence available to the National Secretariat of the party of plots by known INEC officials and certain APC leaders to alter INEC's monitoring report and delete the PDP candidate, all in the bid to make Governor Yaya Bello a sole candidate and deny the people of Kogi State their desire to vote PDP's Musa Wada. The PDP is also alleging that there are plans to also arrest key top chieftains of the party. The PDP says it has intelligence that over 30 Kogi leaders have been listed for arrest by the APC so as to put them out of circulation and pave way for manipulations against the people. Those are the allegations of the PDP. Let's now check out some other political stories for you on our political roundup.
The Kwara State House of Assembly has confirmed the 16 commissioner nominees list sent to it by the state governor, Abdurrahman Abdulrazak. One after the other, members asked questions ranging from education, environment, and infrastructural development, among others. Among the nominees that catches the attention of the people is a 26-year-old graduate of last year, Joanna Kolo. After the 3-day screening, 4 of the nominees were asked to take a bow, including the youngest, while the speaker urged them to be dedicated and not disappoint the confidence reposed in them by the governor. Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State has ordered the contractor handling the 65 billion naira construction of Ibadan Circular Road project to stop work at the site with immediate effect. He gave the directive when he paid an unscheduled visit to the site located along the Lagos-Ibadan bypass end. The governor expressed concerns over the level of work done at the site, which he placed at just 5%, despite the huge amount injected into the project by the immediate past administration.
We just felt, look, we need to pull back a little bit, look at things, holistically, and then take a decision moving forward.
So much, everyone, and let's begin. Well, today is the last day of October 2019, and tomorrow is the 1st of November 2019. So what this means is that if you have been hearing of the Operation Positive Identification, the military says it will start on the 1st of November, but there's been a lot of agitations and a lot of talk and debate over that plan by the Nigerian military. Members of the National Assembly had raised objections over the matter, and today the military is saying the planned Operation Positive Identification is not to scare innocent Nigerians, but a hunt for suspects who may have run away from the Northeast to other parts of the country. The army says guidelines on the operation are yet to be released, and there would be no visible military presence on roadblocks. The Chief of Civil Military Affairs of the Nigerian Army, Major General Usman Mohammed, made the clarifications at a meeting with the House of Representatives Committee on the Army, and this is the defense of the military on that move and the plans on Operation ID. Take a listen to him.
The Operation Positive Identification is an intelligence-led activity, which, based on credible information, we go to specific areas and effect arrest and identify those within them after profiling them. And from there, we've been getting some of these Boko Haram terrorists arrested. It's not about everybody going out with his national passport, international passport, sorry, ID card, or whatever, all forms of identification that you have, no. But it helps if you have, of course, any form of identification, because immediately you are asked, you can easily identify yourself.
Well, there are other people who are not happy about that move. The military is explaining the reasons why they want that. But it does look like there have been some civil move to stop that action. Rights activists and senior lawyer, the senior advocate Femi Falana, has gone to court over this matter. He joins us via telephone from Ilorin to give us a sense of why he's gone to court. Mr. Femi Falana, senior advocate, thank you so much for talking to us on the program tonight. We understand that you have gone to court over this matter. What are the reasons and what are you praying the court to do on this matter? Mr. Falano. All right, we will get back to Mr. Falano. We will rejoin him in a moment. But let's go to our Abuja studio now, where my panel is on the program tonight. There are a series of issues. The issue of the Operation Positive ID and the issue of the Northeast situation, security, gets our attention tonight. There's been a lot of issues around what is the military doing there to quell that insurgency. Well, recently, Army Joint Committee had visited the Northeast to find out what exactly is happening. And the reason why the military says they want to do the Operation Positive ID is because of the Northeast situation. Well, let's join my panel tonight. Chairman of the House Committee on the Army, Honorable Abdulrazak Namdas, and we have also a retired Major General, Cecile Etseka Igbe. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming tonight on the program. Let me begin with you. Honorable Abdulrazak Namdas. What is a sense that you can give us from what the explanation that the military is giving on Operation Positive ID? The House has said that they do not want this to happen, but when they came today, what sense do you get from their planned action?
Thank you so much, Sheun. At first, when we got the information that the Army intends to go on an operation called Operation Positive Identification, it starts tomorrow. Our feeling was that the Army will now be going around the town checkpoints and asking Nigerians of their ID cards and what have you. But today when the Army came and they said, look, we've been doing Operation Positive Identification in the Northeast and where they have operations. Now we will be extending it to other parts of the country, but we are doing it strictly on a particular program, like we have Operation Smile and other operations. So it's not as if there will be deployment of soldiers or there will be an increase of army or soldiers' presence at checkpoints. It's not like that. In fact, you wouldn't even know that an operation is actually going on. But if they have intelligence reports and they're able to arrest any individual, of course they will look for its identification and then report the matter back and then allow either the police to take over the matter. However, we in the committee, we are disposed to the fact that the Operation Positive Identification is not what is our concern. We felt that the Army has also benefited from doing that. But the only fear we expressed today is that we felt that it was not the Army that should have championed the issue of OPI. It should be either the police or immigration officers who should be talking about identification, but actually they should be doing their own nitty-gritty activities of trying to curb violence and curb some kind of insurgent activities. But the idea of identification should have been left to the police. But however, they explained that it is not as if they are going to do anything new. We may not even, Nigeria may not even notice that something is going on until one day you are affected by that. So we are still at the process of analyzing the information we gathered just today. So we have not taken the position as far as the committee is concerned. But at least we have heard from them that it is not going to create more crisis for.
We'll go on a break in a few seconds, but Major General Cecil Ezekaigbe, give us a sense of what you make of what is happening. You've been in the military, and they said, look, this is not unusual. What's your take on it?
Truly, it's not unusual, but I think there is a lack of strategic communication, in bringing out exactly what the intentions of the OPI is. For every military operation like terrorism like this, towards the end of the festive seasons, there are some movement, where you see infiltration of the military bases and some strategic locations, by, people who really have no business there, They come in, as harmless people, but at the end of the day, they are either carrying messages of destruction or messages of death. So what you do in that circumstance is, to isolate that area of operation and make sure that people do not infiltrate that area of operation. So this operation, positive identification, is not that the whole country is going to be in siege, that when you see somebody walking on the street, you ask, oh, where's your ID card and all that. That's not true. It's a strategic adoption of a method to make sure that undesirable elements do not infiltrate, into military bases and areas of operation.
It's very unusual to stop a major general when he's talking in the army, but I have the power to do that right here on the program. Major General, let's take a breather. When we come back, there seems to be some confusion, Honorable Namdas. I'd like you to clarify for us. The military says they want flying elements like jets to fight the insurgency, but we do not understand what exactly is happening. You are of the chairman of the Army Committee. What exactly is happening? You will tell us when we come back from this break. Join us again, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Operation Positive ID, Northeast Insurgency, and how the military is handling the situation there. So the Army Committee on the National Assembly Joint Committee on the Army visited the northeastern region of the country. They have their findings. We understand, we are hearing some things on the sideline, and we have the chairman of the Army Committee in the House of Representatives, Honorable Abdulrazak Namdas. Also, we have the benefit of the experience of Major General Cecil Ezekaigbe here in the studio, in our Abuja studio, for us on the program on some of these issues that have been raised. Before I come to the Major General, let me quickly ask you this. Honorable Namdas, what is happening? We understand that the Army wants fighter jets. This is perhaps in the purview of the Nigerian Air Force. Is there any confusion there?
No, I think, actually, when we went to the theater in Maiduguri, the theater commander, Major General Adini, made it very clear, and I think that's also the position of the Army, that they need Army aviation. And Army aviation, by definition, it means the use of aircraft and other machines that can be flying over for aerial view or aerial warfare, or in order to supply logistics to armies in front. And from history, Army aviation exists in most parts of the world. And for God's sake, if Army aviation will be releasable in Nigeria, Army can be given certain aircraft that can fly at close air support, so closer, to see how the enemies are there. And that will help, because they will be in the front, and then they will now be scaring the enemies or the insurgents. Then the ground troops will be able to follow. I think it is something important that aspect should be considered. Because right now, if you go to Jaji, or is it Depot, or Jaji, I think so, you still have hangars. Nigeria Army has capacity. They have even trained pilots that are on ground. Of course, they respect the Nigerian Air Force. The Nigerian Air Force has existed for over 53 years. They have been there. They supported the Nigerian troops in Sierra Leone, supported them in Liberia, supported them during civil war. They've been doing their best. But what the Army are explaining is that the Nigerian Air Force will go up very high, and they are looking for that particular helicopter that can just move at close range, that can see the enemies, because these guys will come and attack them anyhow, and therefore they require that kind of helicopters that will help. I think, in my view, it is not wrong to help the Army with an aviation, with an aircraft that can be able to assist them. And more so, if people are saying, give me this tool so that I can walk, I don't know what is wrong. People should give them the tool so that if they give them, so they don't get excuses, and give them the tool to do the job, and later you ask questions.
Apologies,
whether,
Honorable,
why you
if
are
I
not
may
able to
butt
do this.
in, but we are in the process of budget defense. As the army puts these requests in their budget.
Sean, let me explain to you that, in fact, the entire budget of the Nigerian Armed Forces is about 100 billion. And to be sincere, 100 billion, we are even a war period. It's really very small, even for the army. Talk less of putting the armed forces together, which includes the Navy and the Air Force. Actually, we in the House are finding a way to support the armed forces through non-budgetary means. We cannot fund the army through budget. We have to look outside the box to see how we can get funds. For example, in particular developed countries, you see that individuals, very rich people, organizations donate to the army account to see how they can help. Or we take certain percentages on certain businesses in Nigeria and fund the army with it. So that if we are able to achieve that, these are the areas that we can help to actualize this army aviation. Of course, with the support of Nigeria, but Nigerians have to understand that it's a very critical matter.
Major General Ezekaibe, give us a sense. You have been in the army. Is it a necessary tool? Because this is not the first time I'm hearing this. When the army says we need fighter jet, not comparable to what we have in the Air Force, is it necessary that they have it? Or what are your thoughts?
You see, this complexity is informed by the lack of, defense and security policies. Because all this, if we have defense and security policies, all these things are well streamlined, and of course, you don't need to debate over it. I'm very happy that the National Assembly is becoming conscious of the need to actually have an oversight function of the armed forces, because that is why they said war is so, complicated to be left in the hands of generals. So the political masters will need to direct the pace and reset, how we go about it. But when you talk of this kind of requirement, the defense and security policies will have stated clearly what they mean by short-term, medium-term, and long-term strategies. At the peak of insurgency like this, when we're in the middle of it, is to start asking for, special aviation unit. When we have an Air Force who can give a cooperation and add, to whatever operation we want to have, I think that should be on the maybe medium term and long term. But for now, on the short term analysis, what we actually need is not even combat aircraft. We need helicopter gunship. And if the Air Force is well equipped and they have enough gunship, they will be able to support the army. And this call for what we have been talking about, interagency cooperation. If you have a viral interagency cooperation, having organic helicopter to yourself in this critical time should not be the issue. The Air Force should be able to support the army if there is interagency cooperation and a well-focused, operational strategy.
Major General, this is not the first time a lot of people have picked hole in the synergy between the agencies, the security agencies. But when the army comes forward to say, this is a required tool for us to win this war, should you just not give them what they require to win the war? If you were in the position of the president, for example, would you give in to that demand easily?
Yes, I will consider, everything in totality, not in isolation. I will look at the finances available. And like the Honorable said, you see, it's only in Nigeria here that we fund, military with budgetary provisions. In other countries, let me even take it, from these Chad countries, and tell you the funding, parameters. In Niger Republic, their percentage of GDP for funding the military is 3.6. Then Chad, they have it 4.0. Then you talk of Cameroon, who was about 2.9. Nigeria is a miserable 1.6% of GDP for funding the military. So we should now look and think outside the box, how to have, a way of funding our military, either a percentage of, maybe like import things that are coming or our oil receipts and all that. a
Major
certain
General.
percentage to be devoted for the funding of the military, especially now that we're in a period of insurgency.
All right.
Budgetary provision is just, cannot move a pin. This is
Major
true.
General, let's close this program, and I need to quickly get, in 20 seconds, Honorable, give us your closing word on what you have discovered and what is on the ground based on this insurgency war in 20, 30 seconds, please, so that we can close the program.
I think, truly speaking, the military is up and doing their best. We should all give them the support. The federal government, Nigeria, should give them the support. And lastly, I want to say that Nigeria should not forget that even the custom has an air wing. The Navy has an air wing. Even NEPA here, when our own NEPA before it became PHA, you can see that they want to sell even their aircrafts. They have it. So when the military is asking for something that's strategic, I think we should look at it critically and not just about the cost. We'll see if we can be able to get it there. Thank you, sir.
Chairman, Committee on the Army, Honorable Abdulrazak Namdas, Major General Cecil Ezekaibe, retired military officer. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming tonight on the program. Well, that's our show for tonight. Many thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Sean Okimale. Bye for now.